There was a guy, it's in Phelps County, that's where we were talking about this. He opened up a thing called Skate or Die. He's got Fogel face, heavy-set man, eyes too tiny, a smile around children that no one should have. I think that was the point. You want to have constantly kind of a grimace knowing that you will be broker after you see the child because you have got to buy them food, otherwise they die. And then, oh, I'm hungry. And it's like, I got to keep you alive. Oh, my God.
You should. Yeah, you definitely should be easy with money. Yes. But definitely, no child should sit anywhere past, like, the top of the kneecap.
Yes. So it's this dude, and I believe his name is Scott Mickey. He was the founder of the Peace of Mind Head Shop.
Oh, yeah. I don't like any of that.
No.
Mickey, last name Mickey either. That's all. Again, that's just... Ooh, that is just programming to a children.
Yes.
That's all they get. They're completely indoctrinated with Mickey impulses. As soon as they see the name Mickey, they're like, oh, that's safe.
It was a roller shop where they sold skateboarding gear and apparel. It opened in March of 2022, but it closed very quickly after two teenage brothers were like, that guy's a horrible piece of shit. And indeed, he has been arrested in Phelps County.
It's not good.
Now, interestingly enough, if you look at the Rolla School Board, because that's where it's at, is Rolla, there's a guy running for school board, and you know what his name is? Scott Glasscock.
Ooh, yeah. Well,
Come on, buddy. That is a name that you got to be
if you have
pharmaceuticals.
But it's Glasscock. It means there is true transparency about your sexuality. And I think that's really important, is to really make sure everybody's on board, especially the kids.
Only weeks after its founding, Skate or Die was shuttered in the wake of Tyler Die. He died because of a fatal drug overdose. Now, nearly a year later, the world has turned upside down for Tyler's family.
This is a terrible story. This is a terrible story. It just sounds
really is. He was assaulted. And,
it's what really happened to the Foot Clan. Do you remember when they cut to all the kids and the underground cool place? I remember how awesome it looked.
Video
the skateboard
games,
in there.
Nintendo, skateboarding.
Oh, yeah. Headbands.
Like,
that's
awesome.
Denim cut off vests and stuff.
Cool.
Really cool. But you know there was at least one guy in there sucking... There was somebody was, in order to get to the jiu-jitsu training, you probably had to massage an older man somewhere in a room.
Well, it would be the oldest guy, the bald dude, right? The guy that was kind of a right-hand man to Shredder. Possibly, although I actually think
I know what you're talking about. His Mater D.
Yeah, I actually think the Foot Clan, they were in it for stealing. They were great thieves.
They certainly didn't get into it to mix it with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No. They're hyper-powered amphibians. That must have been frightening to see.
Technically.
And for the first time, like if you saw Leonardo, right?
Yeah.
A almost 7 foot tall turtle, you know.
It'd be cool.
And in real life, it was anatomically correct. He'd have that weird fucking turtle dick, that weird like pointed
thing. It's a tail.
Which would probably get big as he was attacking you.
Well, that was with the
and toys, a giant sword.
The Toys That Made Us, a fantastic little docuseries. Marcus doesn't like it because he doesn't think that the announcer, the guy doing the VO, is serious enough. We're talking toys.
This is Inside Baseball.
Inside Baseball. Marcus, he says it's too goofy for Marcus. But anyway,
it's your reaction to his dislike of the series that I don't understand, because you are deeply impassioned about the series.
I love it because they tell you all the things about the toys that made us, the movies that made us, the TV shows that made us, anything that made us.
But mostly what you realize about the toys that made us is that they were literally developed before any content was developed about the show. So a lot of times they were just made to be sold, and then they created worlds around the toys to sell them further to children.
And thank you.
You're right.
Thank you for that.
I remember.
Because that is awesome. But also with the turtles. So initially they did have the tail. And then it looked like a dick.
Well, I remember when Power Rangers came out, I knew as a little kid being like, unimpressed. I'm a teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kid.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as the Power Ranger stuff hit, I was like, now you're pandering.
Right.
And I knew, I was like, I need to be surprised.
Well, the original TMNT, which is the only way it should be referred to as, was quite adult. And many people at the studio said, I don't know if kids are going to like this, because they didn't fucking realize how hard elder millennials are and what we're ready to see, able to see at a younger age than our Generation X counterparts.
Oh, yeah. My first reaction
we're not sensitive.
Literally, my first reaction as a 17-year-old to seeing the footage of 9/11 was that I laughed. And then it's just I blame Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on that.
I'm not going to say that I did go back to bed, but I also wasn't quite sure what I was watching. I was in shock. I didn't understand. I knew we were in a forever war
Because that was me and my buddies were talking about, you're going to fucking draft us, man. Us.
No, they were not going to draft you.
300 pounds at 17 years old. Mostly skilled in Magic the Gathering.
You could have... well, now, to be honest with you, they are...
No, they're saying the U.S. Army said that we're too fat, medicated, and lazy. They're trying to neg us.
Have you seen the new ads? You know how to play video games? You like cheese puffs? You just go down to Nevada, you work 9 to 5, you clock in, you kill a bunch of people at noon, and then you take a break. And then you get 3 more hours, but everyone knows you don't kill people after 1 p.m. Why am I even at the office?
Exactly.
And then you go
after
back,
lunch, you're like, I'm tired, I gotta go. Blah.
And then you go back and you have massive PTSD, but you just hang out at Applebee's and pretend like nothing happened.
Very scary.
Speaking of pretending nothing happened, Mickey, again, the man, he was the owner of this head shop. Again, sexually assaulting people, horrible person. He was arrested by the FBI March 24th, and he is charged in federal court with 1 count of transportation of a minor to engage in a criminal sexual act. And
how presidential of him.
The one thing I'm so pissed off about is that usually people that do this are like, they have like a clothing store or like they do something good. This is a cool ad, or perceived to be good, right?
But why is a clothing store?
No,
like
a it's a nonprofit or something. It's like a nonprofit.
Oh, sure.
Because they want to be around young, vulnerable people.
Yes.
But this guy, he's bringing in wheat. He's got a head shop. And it's like, bro.
Well, he's bringing in water pipes. You don't want to get him in trouble.
That's true. Well, he's in trouble. But, you know, it's like this is supposed to be a safe place for 17, 18-year-olds. This is really where our safe place is the back of a head shop. You're supposed to trust this guy.
I saw a lot of...
It's really not good.
There was a place called YB Normal that was like somewhere near where I grew up, right? Where in Florida.
Queens?
No, this is a head shop in Florida. And I think you saw a lot of tips of penises you weren't supposed to see, but mostly it was supposed to be like curious. Hey, you're curious? Which I don't think goes. But you know what? I'll say, you know who's brave? Who showed the whole world that they weren't a bunch of like Jared Fogels, right?
Yep,
they wanted to make sure that they knew that they told a child to go fuck itself. It is the Shasta District Fair. Have you done any research
on the Shasta District Fair?
So a 9-year-old girl befriended a goat. It was a part of this like a 4-H program with the Shasta District Fair. The kids are supposed to go and you raise a goat and you learn how to do you got to do all the shit and then you go through the whole process. But you sell the goat for meat in the end of it. But this little girl became obsessed with the goat and they got really close with the goat because both of her grandparents had just died, all this kind of shit. But so they sold it and it was supposed to go to slaughter, and the father went, did everything possible to say, hey, listen, I know this is supposed to be like a lesson we're teaching our kids.
What?
Like about how farming works, but literally how farming works.
No, the lesson is everything you get close to is inevitably going to be slaughtered in front of your eyes.
It's a good lesson to learn.
But she already learned that because she lost both of her grandparents.
Yeah, but that's just time slaughtered them. And that's who's going to get the rest of us.
I actually disagree with this. See, controversial opinion, okay? Their chickens, they can't even... I don't give a fuck. Make them one big tit, no brain.
I appreciate. I also have no problem.
They don't know that they're alive.
Yeah, I'd rather just breathing hunks of meat. But their story goes. So she goes to sell the goat. The father tries to stop. It's like, hey, listen, I know that this is a breach of contract, but I'm going to go. I'm going to pay you the money that we sold you for the goat. We're going to try to do this. And then they try to not bring the goat back. But apparently they decided to make an example of this child. They sent the sheriff to the kid's house where they took the screaming goat from the child's hands, took it back to the farm where they fucking slaughtered it.
What?
And they basically said, because the big note that came from this county fair thing is that youth get everything they want now. And we have to make sure we show this TikTok generation that if you sign a contract, you have to fulfill it.
Dude, more kids they're getting shot every day. They just get shot all day.
Literally, they run active mass killer drills. Let the kids have the goat.
God.
Let them smoke. Let them fucking... You know what we need to bring back? 32-ounce sodas.
Oh, there's still out.
Say, if there's another 100 shootings this year, we should... New York... They phase a lot of it out. Kids are not allowed to drink it as much anymore.
I think that was pushed back.
I think these kids, they need double downs. Let them be fat. Let them be homebound. Because, that's world will be safe, except if their parents kill everybody in the house.
The next war is going to be fought with drones and other
And guess what the war after that will be fought with? Sticks and stones.
Don't fucking bring magnets into this. I hate that shit.
After
World War III, it's like, what did that ask? Who was that, Einstein or something? Yeah, more like Einstein's Island.
Pocahontas was wrong.
So anyway, the father wrote, my daughter sobbed in her bed with, oh, this is sad.
It's incredibly sad. A lot of the stories this week, I'm going to fess up. A lot of these stories, I kind of we're going to have to vamp quite a bit because I was going through the back. There's a lot of sad fucking stories.
He says, my daughter sobbed in her pen with her goat. The barn was mostly empty at the last minute. I decided to break the rules and take that goat.
Yeah, so he did steal a goat.
Who cares? Also, it's like, I'm not playing this game, dude. I'm not playing the game where it's like get emotionally attached to your goat and then we slaughter it. If I'm emotionally,
it should not have been.
No,
it's just like the idea. It's one or the other. It's like you have to constantly message to your child, like not blaming them, but technically you tried to breach a contract. But listen, we're gonna slaughter this goat. It's a whole farming thing. It's a whole farming thing. And then next week we're slaughtering your brother.
Fucking armed detectives drove 500 miles.
It is wild.
On goat case. At some point in that 500 miles, did they look at each other and be like, this is why we got into the academy?
Nothing I love better than dragging a pet out of a screaming child's hands.
Stealing a 9-year-old's pet freaking goat. Also, we have enough food in this. I can get goat meat right now. We don't need this one goat.
It's a tiny goat. And it's like, I do understand contracts, but like, again, these kids are all fucked. They're all fucked. That kid already lost 3 years to COVID. You know what I mean? And now we're losing a goat.
The name of this goddamn sanctuary where we're staying, deputies believe Cedar was staying at Bleeding Hearts Farm, a sanctuary in Napa County.
You don't understand. They call it Bleeding Hearts there because what they mean is stabbing a heart with a knife.
I think that was supposed to be the good place, and then they stole it from there. It's just, at some point, law enforcement, I know every letter of the law. No one's above the law, even a 9-year-old girl. What the fuck are you doing?